Over the past few years, most of the conversation around advanced technology has revolved around artificial intelligence. Every week, there's a new model, a new AI assistant, a new startup promising to change everything. But quietly, another technological race has been unfolding in the background, one that could be even more transformative in the long run: quantum computing. And recently, China made a move that signals this race is accelerating. Chinese quantum computing company Origin Quantum has released what it calls the first domestically developed quantum computing operating system called Origin Pilot, and it has been made open source for developers and researchers around the world. In simple terms, China has just released something comparable to a Linux-like operating system, but designed for quantum computers. That might sound extremely technical, but the implications are enormous, because quantum computers don't run Windows, they don't run Linux, and they don't run Mac OS. They require completely different systems to manage quantum hardware, schedule tasks, and control qubits, the fundamental units of quantum computation. Origin Pilot is designed to do exactly that. According to reports, the operating system can manage different types of quantum hardware, schedule quantum computing workloads, and coordinate interactions between classical computers and quantum processors. And most importantly, it's open source, which means researchers and developers anywhere in the world can download it, experiment with it, and potentially build applications on top of it. In today's video, I want to break down exactly what this means. We're going to talk about what a quantum operating system actually is, why China decided to open source it, how it works, what this means for the global quantum race, and why this could shape the future of computing. To really understand why this announcement matters, we need to step back and look at how early the quantum computing ecosystem still is. Right now, most people interact with computers through well-established platforms. We have operating systems, programming languages, software development frameworks, hardware drivers, cloud infrastructure. But in quantum computing, much of this ecosystem is still being built from scratch. Researchers around the world are experimenting with different quantum architectures, different programming models, and different software layers. Some companies are building superconducting quantum chips. Others are exploring trapped ions. Some are experimenting with photonic quantum processors. Each of these systems behaves differently, which means software tools have to adapt to a wide range of hardware designs. And that's exactly why something like a quantum operating system is so important. Without it, developers would have to interact directly with extremely complex hardware controls. Imagine trying to write a program on a modern computer without an operating system. You would have to manually manage every piece of hardware, every memory allocation, every processing instruction. It would be almost impossible. A quantum operating system removes that complexity. It creates an abstraction layer that allows developers to focus on algorithms instead of hardware. That's why the release of Origin Pilot is significant, because it represents another step toward making quantum computing accessible to a much broader community of researchers and engineers. Now let's start with the most basic question. What exactly is a quantum operating system? When most people think about operating systems, they think about things like Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. These systems manage everything happening on your computer. They schedule tasks, allocate memory, control hardware, manage files. Essentially, they act as the bridge between software and hardware. Without an operating system, your computer wouldn't know how to run applications or manage resources. Quantum computers require something similar, but the challenge is that quantum computers behave in ways that are fundamentally different from classical machines. Instead of bits, which are either 0 or 1, quantum computers use qubits, which can exist in multiple states at the same time. This property is known as superposition. Quantum systems also rely on entanglement, where qubits become linked and influence each other instantly. These properties make quantum computers incredibly powerful for certain tasks, but they also make them extremely difficult to control. Quantum hardware must operate under incredibly precise conditions: temperature, electromagnetic interference, quantum decoherence. All of these factors can disrupt calculations. So running a quantum computer requires complex coordination between classical computing systems and quantum processors. This is where a quantum operating system comes in. A quantum OS is responsible for scheduling quantum tasks, managing qubit operations, coordinating classical and quantum computation, monitoring hardware performance, and optimizing quantum circuits. According to the Quantum Computing Report, Origin Pilot is designed to perform many of these functions automatically. In other words, it acts as the control layer that allows researchers to actually use quantum machines effectively. Without this kind of software infrastructure, quantum computers are essentially impossible to operate at scale. Origin Pilot was developed by a Chinese quantum computing company called Origin Quantum. The company is based in Hefei, which has become one of China's major hubs for quantum research. Origin Quantum focuses on developing quantum hardware and software technologies, including superconducting quantum processors. According to China Daily, the company created Origin Pilot as part of its broader effort to build a full quantum computing ecosystem in China. And this is important, because building a quantum computer is only part of the challenge.
You also need software frameworks, compilers, operating systems, and developer tools. Without these layers, quantum hardware remains mostly experimental. So Origin Pilot represents an attempt to create a complete software foundation for quantum computing. The system has already been integrated with Origin Quantum's quantum computers, including the company's Wukong quantum computer. According to reports, this platform allows researchers to run quantum experiments through cloud services. This means developers can potentially access quantum hardware remotely, similar to how cloud computing works today. So what exactly does Origin Pilot do? Based on available reports, the system includes several important capabilities. First, it manages quantum computing workloads. Quantum computers cannot run multiple tasks simultaneously in the same way classical machines do. They require careful scheduling to avoid conflicts and hardware instability. Origin Pilot handles this scheduling automatically. Second, the system coordinates interactions between classical and quantum computing systems. Most quantum computations require classical computers to control experiments and interpret results. The operating system acts as a bridge between these two environments. Third, it supports multiple quantum hardware architectures. According to China Daily, the system is compatible with several types of quantum processors, including superconducting quantum chips, ion trap processors, and neutral atom quantum systems. This is important because the quantum computing industry hasn't yet settled on a single hardware standard. Different companies are experimenting with different technologies, so having software that can work across multiple architectures is extremely valuable. Fourth, Origin Pilot includes tools for quantum circuit optimization and qubit calibration. These features help improve the reliability and efficiency of quantum computations. And finally, the system integrates with QPanda, a quantum programming framework developed by Origin Quantum. This allows developers to write quantum programs and execute them on supported hardware platforms. One of the most interesting aspects of this announcement is that the operating system was released as open source. This means the code is publicly available for anyone to inspect, modify, and build upon. But why would a company release such advanced technology openly? There are several possible reasons. First, open source helps build ecosystems. The success of platforms like Linux shows that open development can attract thousands of developers who contribute improvements and create new applications. Second, it accelerates innovation. Instead of one company doing all the development work, researchers and engineers around the world can collaborate. Third, it establishes standards. If a large number of developers adopt Origin Pilot, it could become a widely used foundation for quantum software development. And finally, open source can serve strategic goals. By encouraging global adoption, China could strengthen its influence in the emerging quantum computing ecosystem. The Quantum Insider notes that releasing the system publicly could help lower the barriers for quantum development and expand the global community working with these technologies. That is it. If you like this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Catch you in the next one.